are you? Who's with me today? Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. How are you? Let me see if I can get you guys up here. Let me see who's on. Hey, Diversity. Good to have you on. Guys, as you're coming on, just tell me where you're watching me from. It's been a while since I did one of these live sessions with you. I've been doing Monday night lives on Instagram at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern. So if you want to catch me live next time, catch me on Monday night on Instagram at McBean Immigration Law. And that's when I get up close and personal and answer questions. Okay, so today in this live session, I'm going to talk about a hot topic in immigration. Guys, put hot topic in the comments if you're ready to talk about something hot. Say hot topic, hot topic, hot topic. We're going to talk about amnesty. Okay, we're going to talk about amnesty. We're going to talk about Joe Biden's amnesty plans. Hey, Mabel, nice to have you on with me. Evangelist Roy Berger, nice to see you. He says, happy Sabbath. Well, for me, the Sabbath is on a Sunday, but I know for you, it's today. Happy Sabbath and Merry Christmas in advance for those of you who are celebrating Christmas. I'm celebrating Christmas. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah for those of you who are celebrating Hanukkah as well. Yes, type in hot topics. Hey, Andrew, nice to have you on. It's good to be with you guys today. We're going to talk about Joe Biden's plans for amnesty because I've been having consultations with folks who are anxious about amnesty, and there's a lot of hope, there's a lot of expectations that Joe Biden will come into office and kick off the first 100 days with a big amnesty that will cover 11 million people. Okay, so we're going to talk about some questions. Hey, Shireen, nice to see you. I love it when my clients are on. Good to see you guys. Good to have you on with me. How many of you have been seen any of my Instagram lives and you like it? If you have been in my Instagram live sessions on Monday night and you enjoy those Q&A topics and such, let me know. Let other people know that they should join as well. Okay, so let's get into it. For those of you who are watching on McBean Immigration TV on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so that you'll be the first to get notice of these videos each week. Videos are uploaded each week, as you guys may well be aware of, so you guys don't want to miss any of my upcoming videos. Immigration, if you need immigration help, by the way, if you need immigration help, contact my law office. There's only so much I could do to help you via this way, right? On Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. The real help happens during a consultation, and of course when my law office takes on your work, your case. So contact the law office, 718-301-9732. We are closed on weekends, but you could still book your appointment and get on my calendar before the holiday. Okay, let's get into it, guys. I want to talk with you about Biden. Okay, Joe Biden is coming into office on January 20th, as we know. And here's what has stirred up a lot of people. A lot of people are stirred up and excited because of this. Watch this, guys.
Tell me about day one of the White House and day 1 through 100, your first 100 days. What are your priorities going to be on those first days?
Some of it's going to depend on the kind of cooperation I can or cannot get from the United States Congress. But I made a commitment in the first 100 days. I will send an immigration bill to the United States Senate with a pathway to citizenship for over 11 million undocumented people in America.
Okay, you guys heard that? If you heard that clip, let me know that you heard the clip, that it came in loud and clear to you. So Biden says that in his first 100 days, he's going to do what? He is going to he will send a bill to the Senate, right? To do what? To provide a pathway to citizenship for 11 million people. That's what he said. So that has stirred up a lot of excitement among people who are here in the United States, and certainly, obviously, those who are outside of the US, but more so those who are here in the United States. They want to know when this is going to happen, how they could get into it, qualify for it, and how they could get a work permit and move on with their life. Those are the questions that folks have been asking me, right? And asking themselves. And so let me go into my Q&A hot topic session here with you so that we could tackle these questions one by one that people have been asking about the amnesty. Okay. And so the first question is, am I eligible for the amnesty? Am I eligible for the amnesty? If you've asked yourself this question, type in, okay, yep, this is my question. I want to know, am I eligible for the amnesty? And so, friends, what I would say to you first of all is no one knows who is really eligible for the amnesty. We don't know. We don't know yet. We don't know yet because Joe Biden has not sent over that legislation, the proposed legislation, to the Senate yet. Doreen says, my question. Yeah, my question, right? Type in my question if that's you're wondering, is this gonna apply? Am I gonna be eligible for this? Okay, so we don't have a framework yet. We don't know who it's targeting other than the 11 million, big number that President-elect Joe Biden has put out there. And so we don't know what the criteria are yet. We don't know. We don't know so much. So that's the first answer to that question, guys. So if you're asking that question, you need to understand that you may or may not be eligible for an amnesty, but we won't know that for certain until we see the framework of what's involved in it. And then the second question that people are asking is, when can I apply for the amnesty? Same thing, right? We don't know. We don't know when this is going to go into effect. There's going to be a lot of steps, and I'm going to go through those steps with you shortly of what it's going to take to actually get amnesty implemented. We don't know when you can apply for it, okay? Third question people are asking, should I wait until amnesty goes into effect before I do something about my immigration situation? And question number 3 is a great question, and I have been getting this one. Should I wait until it goes into effect before I do something with my immigration situation? And so my answer is, I guess I have a two-part answer for this question. It really all depends, right? Because the thing is this, if you are eligible for any other immigration benefits, such as DACA, and DACA is open. It's open now. It's available. The program is back to the way it was before. So they are accepting new applications. So if you're eligible for DACA at a minimum, I would say go for it. Get that lawful status in place if you're eligible for something such as that, right? Or another program. And if amnesty becomes available and you are eligible for it at that point, then obviously get on that pathway to citizenship, right? However, if something is available for you, go for it. Contact us. Let us look at your background and see whether or not something can happen in your case, right? But if you are like the 11 plus million people out there in America, it's obviously we don't even know the true number of folks who are not authorized in America. If you're like them, you don't have any other pathway. You have nothing, no pathway to permanent residency, no green card opportunity, which is why this amnesty opportunity is so intriguing, right? And so you're looking forward to it. right? Because you don't have that family relationship in America that would make you eligible for a green card. You don't have an employment opportunity because maybe you've overstayed and you have unlawful presence on your record and maybe other immigration violations, and so that takes you out of the run-in for employment based pathway. Or perhaps you don't have any humanitarian basis to get a green card. And so, as I've been saying many times, the pathways to a green card, the pathway is very narrow, it's very slim. And so 11 plus million people don't have any opportunity. And in fact, sometimes I do say to folks in consultation, and you might be watching me right now and you've had consultations with me in which I share with you that you don't really have any pathway. And for some people, their only pathway is to wait, right? For example, how do you wait? Well, there are people who wait until their U.S. citizen child becomes 21 and applies for them. And we've helped people in those situations, and they may be watching right now and they have their green card, right? Because nothing else was available to them other than my child is here in America, was born here, and I know that I have a pathway through my son once he becomes 21, and it does work. So for some people, it's a very long road to permanent residency, and so that's one of the reasons why this amnesty talk is so juicy for them, because they may be waiting for years and they're here undocumented. And so I would say, let's go back to this. Should I wait until amnesty goes into effect before I do something about my situation? The answer is no, if you have another pathway. And if you don't have any other pathway, you have no other option but to wait, right? There's nothing else that can be done right now. Okay, and then the fourth question is this. Is it going to happen? Guys, if you're still with me, type in, I'm with you, I'm with you, I'm with you. I am with you, and give me some hearts. Is amnesty going to happen? That's the big question. And so I have two answers, okay? So it really all depends. The first is this. It totally depends on what's going to happen in Georgia. Okay? What we see today in Georgia, this is an article that I pulled this morning. Georgia, as you guys know, all eyes are on Georgia, the Senate race off in Georgia, right? So apparently the turnout in Georgia is very strong for early voting so far. 1.1 million people have voted so far. They are not playing in Georgia, guys. You see these folks standing here online here? They want their vote to be counted, okay? They are not sending in any mail-in ballot or anything like that. They are online in the cold because they are taking this thing very seriously in Georgia, because they see the efforts to disenfranchise. And in fact, you know, the federal court threw out, I want to say 3 Republican attempts just recently, I think this week, something like that. I've been following it. Attempts by the Republican Party down there and the Republican candidates to cut out some of the opportunities that folks have to vote in this runoff. So 1.1 million people have voted as of Thursday, and they are saying in Georgia that this is a record number of people to turn out for any runoff. Most people don't care, but they do in Georgia. And so we will see what happens with the Senate, because if the Senate tips to, if the Republicans lose control of the Senate, the likelihood of amnesty passing on a big scale that President-elect Joe Biden wants to see happen, it's a likelihood that it can happen. So Georgia is very important to the amnesty discussion. And so they're expected to count the votes on January 5th, right? From my understanding, January 5th. Okay. January 5th, that's the date they're going to count all of the votes in Georgia. So keep an eye on what's going on in Georgia. Okay. That's the let's see. Hold on. That's the first thing that, in answer to the question, is amnesty going to happen? It depends. If the Republicans lose control of the Senate, then there's a likelihood that it may not happen on the big scale that Biden is talking about. Could be a slimmed down version if Republicans maintain control of the Senate. Could be a slimmed down version or none at all. Okay. And then the other part of this discussion about whether amnesty is going to happen that you guys need to really think about and not just get so excited about the idea of amnesty. You've got to think about the reality. Okay. The reality is Joe Biden is a political figure, right? Political figure. Let me hold on a second. Let me jump back on here. He's political. And so, yeah, he's a Democrat, on the left side, left leaning, but he wants to be reelected in 4 years. Right? He wants to be reelected. And so if all hell breaks loose at the southern border, and the borders are flooded again by folks who are attempting to cross illegally, that's a political decision he's going to have to make at that point about what to do. And they saw this happen under President Obama's administration, and it led to a massive amount of deportations, and they were very hard under Obama with respect to border control and some measures, guys. You got to understand that. So politically speaking, he is in a position. And so here's the latest of what's going on with respect to whether, what the likelihood of amnesty passing. Let me play this little clip for you.
70,000 people were apprehended crossing the southern border illegally. So let's go back to Grady Trimble. He is at the border wall in Arizona. The question is, Grady, is the border crisis coming back?
Stuart, it's certainly something we should be paying attention to in the coming months as the Biden administration is set to take over in January. One big difference this time around, though, is as caravans make their way to our southern border, there will be many, many miles of this border wall, nearly 450 miles of it set to be complete by the end of this year. One thing that we should watch very carefully is this migrant caravan making its way north from Honduras through Central America, and eventually their plan is to make it through Mexico to the southern border. That is something that is caused in part by hurricanes that they've experienced down there this year, the economic downturn from the pandemic, but also many immigration hardliners are suggesting it could be because of the Biden administration, which is going to take over and, as we know, be much more lenient on immigration.
Okay, so what did we just see? We saw a recent news clip from Fox Business. Fox, I'm keeping this discussion very balanced, okay? So it's balanced. So what Fox is reporting here is that there is a caravan of people who are coming in, who are traveling from Honduras, ultimately to land in Mexico and then to the United States, which is the ultimate goal for them. And so when you have this number of people who are making their way again to the border, the question is, what is Biden going to do in response to this, right? What is he going to do? And so the other thing to think about here is that, let me pull this up for you guys. Give me a second. Okay, so I pulled the numbers from the CBP, the Customs and Border Protection Agency here, in terms of the number of folks who they apprehended at the border in recent months. So what we're looking at here is October and November data. It's kind of small, maybe on your end. But what it says is that for the month of November, they apprehended a total of 67,000 people at the border in November. And of that 67,000, 58,000 of them were single adults, and then 4,000 were in family units, and then there were a number of almost 4,500 unaccompanied children. And so this is happening at the border. And according to the footnote here, in fiscal year 2020, a total of 400,000 people, individuals were apprehended between ports of entry on our southwest border. And so, guys, the thing is this, with respect to Biden, let me jump back on here. With respect to Biden, the reality is people are going to continue to try to come in this way at the border, and he's going to be confronted with real practical questions about what to do in these circumstances. He's been there before under President Obama. And so the support of a blanket amnesty in light of what's happening at the southern border, I don't know, they're going to have some very interesting discussions about how to handle all of this. It's really kind of it's a tough position to be in. So we've got to remember that he is a political figure, and he's going to have to make political decisions when the time comes, because the situation at the border isn't getting better. Okay, so now let's see. And all those people they're traveling, they're coming here for mainly economic opportunity, and that's a fact. It's economics because of the opportunities here. Now let's get back to this. Okay, so then the next thing is this. Hold on. Okay, here we go. So what is it going to take for amnesty to really, really happen? What is the process going to look like? And so the process is this. Biden says he's going to send it to the Senate, his proposal to the Senate. Senators are then going to introduce it. It's going to go to a committee. Really, it's going to go to a subcommittee first, and then it's going to go to the full committee. Those committees are going to, the subcommittee as well as the full committee will hold hearings on it. And then the committee approves it. It then goes to the Senate floor for a vote. Then on the House side, the very same process has to happen, right? It has to be introduced. And by the way, there are maybe a couple of steps here that I am skipping because of the sake of time, but it goes to committees as again on the House side for approval, and then to the House floor for a vote. Biden then signs it. And then, guys, the agencies have to create the rules and policies that will tell us, okay, here's how it's going to work, and here's what the application process needs to look like, and here's the start date, and all of those nitty gritty details need to be worked out, right? And so after all of those details are worked out and the policies are published and everything, then they will start accepting applications, and then lawyers will become very, very busy, right? And people will rush to submit their applications. So that's what it's going to take. That's what it's going to take. So as you can see, it's not an overnight process. So for those of you who are out there waiting for this to happen, you've got to recognize that there's a lot of steps in between. And so it's going to take a little while. It's not going to be an overnight process. All right. So what do you guys have to say about that? How about that? What do you guys have to say? Do share this with other people, by the way. Do share this with other people. Okay, so he said he's going to run for only 4 years and take his political retirement. Okay. The thing about power is it's hard to let go of. It's hard. No one wants to give it up, but if he says that, okay, we'll see. He is up there in age. Okay, so I'm scrolling through here. I don't see a whole lot of questions coming in about. Okay, so Marlon says, why do you have to be negative? Marlon, I'm not negative. If you watch all of my other videos and my discussions about amnesty or about 2021, you will see if you, I don't know if that question is directed to me, Marlon, or someone else. We'll see. I don't know. But if it's directed to me, this is very much a balanced, realistic perspective on the likelihood of this passing and what it's going to take. It's going to take things happening in Georgia, and it's also going to take looking at the realities at the southern border to see how Biden will politically juggle those realities with his aspirations to allow 11 million people to become citizens, because they have been here for, many people have been here for a long time, and they just have no pathway, and it's a heartbreaking situation. Someone says amnesty is overdue. Let's see. Hope the promises are okay. Don't get too excited. So I'm seeing a spectrum here. Fritz says if the Democratic Party wins Georgia, amnesty will be much easier. It will be much easier because then the Senate will tip Republican, and yeah, it's much more likely to happen. Thanks so much for watching from Turkey, Maxwell. That's a far place to be watching. Thank you so much for being with us. Terrific. Andrew, we look forward to working with you when the time is right. Just contact us. Yeah, we have to be realistic, right? Sean says we have to wait and see what will happen. Exactly. Wait and see what happens. Okay, so go ahead, share this information with other people. I didn't want to be on too long. Just wanted to come in and talk with you guys about give you answers to a lot of questions I've been receiving around amnesty, and to present a more balanced look at what's going to happen. And guys, you know I'm going to be hot and heavy on this topic as it is moving through the Senate. So let's see how things progress with what Biden introduces, and then what the senators put out there, and how the Senate responds to it. I'm going to love having those discussions with you. So I'm going to be plugged in, and I'm optimistic that, you know, they'll do something around immigration. We'll see on what scale it's going to be. Guys, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Share this with other people. Thank you so much. And don't forget to get on to my Instagram, McBean Immigration Law, and join me on Monday nights at 9 p.m. where I do a live Q&A at that point. Thanks so much for being with me, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.